Hello and welcome to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce, where we connect with Troy Chamber members as they give us a glimpse into their company and share some of the business lessons they've learned along the way. Hi everyone, I'm Tara Tomczyk-Husak, President and CEO of the Troy Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined by our amazing and lovely co-host, who is also the Vice President of the Chamber, Sheila Denstead.
Hello.
Firstly, I'd like to take a moment and thank our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. Stay tuned for our very first commercial break where you can learn how you can rely on Trion. So Sheila, we have, do we say the best guest? I don't know how to, I feel mean if I say it that way, but just one of the most impactful people in, I would say, the Troy Chamber's life. So do we say it like that? I don't know.
We do, but I think we better keep getting into it because I have a feeling.
We're getting emo. Just go.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I am absolutely honored to introduce this person to you today. This is not only a friend of the chamber, a friend of the community, a friend of businesses, of residents, but a friend of mine. And I'm not going to tear up, so I'm just going to start moving. Today we're meeting with the amazing Cindy Stewart. Cindy was hired as the Community Affairs Director for the great city of Troy in April of 1998. And prior to that was the Citizens Resource and Information Director for the city of Dearborn from 1995 to 1998, and the Public Information Director for the city of Novi from 1988 to 1995. She holds a bachelor's degree in journalism and public relations from Madonna University, a master's degree from Eastern Michigan University in communications. She also has tons and tons of additional responsibilities and volunteer efforts, including being the chair of the Intergovernmental Cable Communications Authority. Try to say that.
That was a good one. We got that out.
She is currently serving on the board of directors for the Troy Police and Fire Benevolent Association, Troy Youth Assistance, and the Troy Historical Society, where she served as the past secretary. She's also served as the president of the Boys and Girls Club of Troy and is the current president of Troy People Concerned. Cindy was chosen one of the esteemed women of Michigan in 2016 and is a recent graduate of the FBI Citizens Academy and just an all-around amazing, amazing human being. Cindy, thank you for being here.
Thank you both. I love both of you.
Yeah. So, Cindy, obviously, we have the luxury of being able to spend a lot of time together. We've been doing that for years. But you are probably the busiest human, I would say, on the planet. I would say personally, professionally, all the above. Like, you are the most active human I think I know. But how did you find balance doing all of these amazing things and staying sane, I guess is the right way of saying it?
Who says I am?
Oh, that's valid. Touche.
And we were just talking about yoga. The hardest thing that I do in yoga is balance. But I think it goes way, way back. My husband and I were foster parents to 8 teenagers back in 1980. Plus, we had a 4- and 5-year-old. So we all lived together. It wasn't one teenager at a time. There were 10 children and my husband and I. And I think that's when we first learned time management and balance. Shopping for 10, cooking for 10, doctor's appointments, sports, all kind of events. We just learned how to balance things. And one of the most important things I want to tell people that when you balance, family has to come first. Family and your friends and really personal things. Yoga, I do yoga a lot. I do stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking. I'm fortunate to live on a lake in Troy. But you have to balance all that, plus balance your work life. And I've been in government work for 38 years. When you said that, it's like, wow, that was a long, long time. So you just have to find time for everything, but you have to take care of yourself. I know a lot of people know that I was the caregiver for my husband, and that's when it truly hit me that if I don't take care of myself, I can't take care of him. So you learn along the way, you find some, different hints and tricks. And sure, none of us, we don't always do everything right, but, I try.
They do a pretty good job
Yeah.
at it.
Thank you.
Not sure we're letting the cat out of the bag or not, but I hear there might be a pretty big announcement that impacts quite a few people, and we'd love to have you leak it here first.
Yes, I have thought about this for a number of years, but this year especially, my son went through some major surgeries, and I'm now a great grandmother, little Ellie Rose.
Aw.
And I just started thinking about it, and I'm ready to retire. I'm going to put my retirement hat now on and say, after 38 years in government, plus working at Madonna University and being a foster mom and everything else I've done, I was a reporter for the Observer Eccentric way back when. It's time for me to retire and find some more balance with doing things for me.
Well, I think this is probably, obviously you could tell, we know, but it's that piece of like, this is why this is a little more emotional for us, because you're family in this aspect and you've done so many amazing things, and it's the entire community. But I also do think, would you agree that she will still be the busiest retired person on the planet?
It's a different kind of busy.
That's true.
She'll be keeping Delta Airlines going.
Yeah, I love Delta, and I have a few trips in mind. I've been able to fit in a lot of great trips in the last couple of years, mostly through my yoga. I went to Panama twice, to an island off of Panama to do yoga. I just came back from the Galapagos Islands earlier this year. I spent 3 weeks in Italy and then ended up in Poland as well last September. I went to Hawaii to visit a niece. I'm flying to Paris mid-September. And I've done a lot this summer camping in Mackinac, Glen Arbor, and Algonac. So I want to travel a lot.
I love it.
There's so many places I want to see. And my mom's in Kentucky. My great-grand is in Virginia. So my sisters are all over the country as well, and my brothers. So I'm going to do some traveling.
Good for you, man. So we've hit 38 years. What's the most significant achievement or achievements in those years? What really stands out to you?
Well, I have loved every minute of my 38 years. And it's been, different things. In Novi, I was the first public information director. So I came up with that department. I facilitated, organized, did a community calendar, cable television. Then I went to Dearborn, which was totally different. That department had been around forever, and part of that department was to coordinate the senior citizens and these pleasant hour clubs. And the seniors in Dearborn were very spoiled by their mayor, which rightfully so. But then I came to Troy, and I found my home. It was probably not even a year after I got the job, we moved to Troy. We're on our fourth home in Troy, now on a lake. So I got to grow this job as well. When I first started, the city manager who hired me said, I want you to come up with a newsletter for the city of Troy. So I came up with Troy Today. That was the name. And it's so funny if you look at it. I don't know if people can see it, but it was just like black and white with one color. And I announced the new police chief at the time, Charlie Kraft. And then now we've moved into, I've got great marketing people and color. So I'm really proud of how the Troy Today has grown over the years. And I'm working on right now the fall issue, which I believe will be my 108th issue of the Troy Today. Wow. We're quarterly. So I'm very excited about that. Also, another thing I did was the community guide. It's got tons of information about Troy. So we hope citizens take that. It's got just all of our facilities, nonprofits, statistics about Troy. So those I'm very proud of. Coordinating the cable, we did not, televise council meetings. Now, we go live. I've got a part-time person that handles that. Just other shows we did. For Troy's, I was fortunate enough to organize the city's 50th anniversary and the 60th. And just the 70th. But for the 50th, we did a talking history. So we found all these people that had been early Troy council people, early mayors, Tony Pilata, Gene Stein, John Kokalis, people that I'm sure a lot of residents have no idea who they are. And we did our talking history. We found residents. There was a woman who she lived across from Camp Ty and Sylvan Glen, because that golf course has been around since 1929.
You're kidding.
So she and her husband worked there, but just talking to people about things that, you go, oh, and Rochester Road was 2 lanes. And I don't mean 2 one way and 2 the other, 2 lanes. And so that's been fun, just finding these people and talking and, just working with the historic village. That's why I'm very passionate. I've been on the board for many years. And just sharing Troy's history, because Troy has grown. We're only 70 years old, but we are, it's fascinating. Somerset wasn't here. How could we live without Somerset?
Well, and it's funny, too, when you look at some of these old photos. I remember there was one, and it was Big Beaver, which I don't believe it was called Big Beaver at that point. But it literally was a dirt road. And it farms, and people don't realize, mind you, 70 years is not that long.
No.
So to see that growth and of our economy, of our residents, and all of the above, it's pretty impressive to make sure that people know where we started.
Gene Stein would talk about cows crossing Big Beaver. And all the farms, it was all farmland. But I just think Troy is my favorite city in the universe. And we've talked about that when we've done State of the City with the mayor. It is. It's not just the best city in Michigan or the United States. And we have won so many awards.
Yeah.
Troy, best city, best small suburb, best place to do business. And I'm just proud of everything. I'm proud that I've been able to work with so many nonprofits. I love our nonprofits. Without them, the Troy Community Foundation, I was able to start our summer concert series. And now that with the Troy Community Foundation, we have a new band shell right at the Gene Stein Community Park. So Gene, who just turned 96, that first person in Troy that they named a park after her while she was still alive. So, very proud of that. Just all the people I've worked with. The city employees, I can't say enough. That's been a huge accomplishment. Working with them and seeing what everybody's done. We're one of the safest cities in Michigan. I'm not going anywhere. I'm retiring, but I'm not leaving Troy.
Well, and I think, too, you brought up that Troy's won many accolades, many awards. I do hope you understand you're a big part of that.
Thank you.
Because a lot of those things that you mentioned is the reason why Troy is so fantastic. So I want to give you some credit where credit is due.
And our great schools. I love working with our schools. Why do people move here? Our city services and our school.
She's the perfect ambassador for that, right? So, all right, everyone. I think this is a great time to take a quick break and hear a word from our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. We'll be right back.
I'm Joe Vicari, President and CEO of the Joe Vicari Restaurant Group, which encompasses 24 restaurants throughout the country. Trion's able to provide for our employees health insurance, 401ks, vacation time. All of that helps us compete against larger companies for top talent. Happy employees make for great service, and that's what our restaurants are known for. That's why we rely on Trion.
You can always rely on Trion.
Welcome back to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. We are here with the incredible Cindy Stewart from the city of Troy. So, Cindy, you've mentioned a lot of changes in your life through multiple leaders. And I would say, since you worked at 3 different cities, mostly in Troy, I will say, you've had to experience numerous leaders. With government, a lot of times you're going to have people who are voted in. So you're going to deal with some leaders that are 4 years, 8 years, and going through that process. But you've also dealt with a rotation of city staff too. Talk us through how you adapt to each leader and some of their styles, or what are some of the challenges?
That's very, very true when you work for a political entity. My husband once asked me if he could put up a political sign for somebody that was running. And I said, you live with Switzerland. I said, we are not allowed to do that because you don't know who's going to get elected. And in my 38 years, I worked for 10 mayors and 10 city managers. Wow. And I can't even tell you how many council people. But you have to stay, like they're impartial. You have to be, always nonpartisan. You have to work with whomever is elected. And I've worked for a lot of councils. They don't always get along, but we have to do their bidding. If, 7 council people or 6 or a majority votes for something, you have to do it. I wasn't happy when they wanted to, stop producing the city calendar. But, you have to know that it's always a budget decision.
Yeah.
There's only so much money. We're not a for-profit company. And you just learn, different people's, their quirks, their personalities, and you just really hope that they as a body get along, because so much more can get accomplished when the governing body gets along. And so many people I was hired with. When I was first hired, there was a majority of women department heads. It was so wonderful. And one of the women, she started a golf league. None of us could golf. But every Wednesday we'd go to Sylvan Glen, and we had our Wednesday golf league with, a lot of the ladies plus, some other employees. But it was great camaraderie. And we learned, about each other. And then we got along, because the department heads and the staff, we have to work together. You don't just work in a silo. No business does that.
Yeah, it's every moving part,
Right.
too.
You've got to all work together. Community Affairs works with engineering and DPW and recreation and police and fire and library and treasurers. We all have to get along, because we're all doing the same thing. We're making a great city, and we're taking care of our residents. So yes, everybody, you hope and pray that people run for office for the very right reasons, because they want to serve their community. And I know I've worked with fabulous people. Our mayor right now is really awesome. And he truly cares.
Yeah.
And I know that all of our mayors, Jean Stein, Louise Schilling, Ethan, they truly, truly care about the community, because they don't get paid. We're the ones that get paid. And they do it because they care. And we have to do the same thing. No matter what we're paid, we're working for them. And that's what I have always loved. And I love living in my city, because I see all the employees and I see how hard they work. And, they'll answer their phone on vacation. I just had a little situation, and I texted one of the department heads, and he texted, "I'm on vacation." And I said, "Well, I have a little situation." He called me back within 10 minutes. And that's just how that I have learned, and that I know that everyone that works in Troy is exactly like that.
See, and I think it's so amazing, because you do deal with different personalities. But I think one thing about a community is we have to bring people together.
Yes.
And I think, honestly, that's one of those things that I think is probably one of the greatest assets of Troy. We can be called like a purple city, but it's not about which party you're a part of. It's a part of putting people before party.
Yeah.
It's about making sure our community is one whole. We are all succeeding. And I think that's something so impressive about it. But
exactly. We meet people, they call us because they have an issue, a problem, a concern, and they don't know where to turn. And oftentimes it's not us. It's not something we can solve, but if we at least listen to them and care about them and make them feel that we truly care and try to find a solution, that's all that matters. Care about them, smile at them. And that's what makes Troy great, because there's a lot of employees, and that's exactly what they do.
And they're hardworking.
Oh, they absolutely are. So you pretty much have answered my next question. And I'm going to ask it in a little bit of a different way. What is that special sauce in Troy that obviously keeps you here, but brings others? We've talked about schools. We've talked about the great governmental assets that we have within the city of Troy. But what is it that's continually raising that to a higher level? What's that special sauce?
I think it is the mix of, when you say the sauce, it's the mix of everything. The schools, the services, our businesses, the chamber, the community organizations, our city, how it's laid out. I know there's people wish we had a downtown. They wish we were like Rochester or Royal Oak, but it's not going to happen. But I believe it's how our forefathers and our planning department, community, economic development, how they do it now, that everything's in the proper place. We still love our parks, our open space, our historic village, our nature center, that we're not afraid to build more parks. The Gene Stein Park has evolved. We still have a lot of undeveloped parkland. So I see in our future, we're still looking to put more trails in. There's just something for everyone. Our large corporations, our small mom and pops, and that they get involved. As the chamber, they sponsor events. They sponsor so many different things for events and classes and projects and things that our community can take advantage of. I think it's just everybody coming together and just making Troy the greatest city in the universe.
In the universe, as Ethan said from stage. So you're a member of our team as well, because you're truly the person we go to when we have questions as well. But you're also somebody who's always advocated for the community and always led with positivity because you genuinely care. I mean, you even won a Troy Chamber Award, which is really funny. So you won the Chamber Advocate Award in 2023. But why have you invested in creating such a great relationship with the Chamber? Obviously, we're grateful, but why is that important? Because I do feel like we're important to you as well.
Oh, you are absolutely. You are the most important. But when I first started my job, I remember reaching out and the chamber president at the time, and we met. And because I wanted to find out what exactly is the Troy Chamber. Different cities are totally different.
Very much.
Totally, yes, totally different. So we met, and I found out how much the chamber does for our business community. And I watched over the years. I believe you're my fourth chamber president.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Would be.
Yep.
And Sheila's been here a long time. She was here before you became president. And the chamber's grown. I think the two of you have brought it to a new level. The businesses feel loved and wanted and accepted, and they know who to go to if they have issues. And I think the three of us and the mayor, we've brought it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
That
No doubt.
you can call on the city, you can call on the mayor, you can call on me, you can call on both of you. And I think that's been so important, and it's helped our businesses grow. We have, when we have businesses that, or we have empty storefronts, empty businesses. You, as well as the mayor and our city people, we try and fill those vacancies. We try and make them feel that Troy is the place you want to be. And when we do another ribbon cut when they expand, we're congratulating them. You didn't just move to Troy, you expanded.
You're reinvesting in our community.
Yes. And we love that. We want them to stay in Troy. We don't want the empty buildings. And I love that we work together and we can call on each other. And if you have a resident or a business ask a question and you don't know the answer, you can call on us and vice versa. And we call on you.
What I will say is what I'm most sad about you retiring is I was like, do I have to remove her from our group chat? Because it's me, you, Mayor Baker, and obviously Cindy. So we're a group chat. So I think we just keep her on.
We can still be a group chat.
I have no problem with it.
I can still be a group chat.
Maybe it'll be like more of a friendship chat at that
There you
point.
go.
We'll do that. We'll start a new one.
But I still have a whole lot of information and resources in this brain.
Oh, don't you worry. We will be calling upon that.
If you need me, I want people to still call me. My best friend, we met when we were 7. And she lived across the street. My mom found out there was a 7-year-old across the street and went over. But over the years, she was a pediatric nurse for 46 years. She always told me when we talk about retiring and when we were both going to do it, and she said, retire when you still love your job. don't retire when you're bitter and you're just angry, and I'm not. And I love Troy, and sometimes I say, am I making a mistake? Should I be doing this? But it's time for me. Life is short. My husband showed me that, and I have grandkids. I have 2 wonderful sons and their wonderful wives. So, and my mom is 91. We have 5 generations in our family. I know there's more things I want to do, but I'll still be there.
I don't think anyone will ever not say you're welcome to everything. You are always welcome.
Thank you.
Wow. I'm sorry.
I know.
So thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
If you could sum it up, what would it be? What would you like to say?
Well, people just work together, always be kind and caring, and just smile at people. You never know what they're going through. I've been through some tough times, my family. And people, you don't know until you walk in someone's shoes. So just always be kind, always be willing to, lend an ear, lend a hand. And for the younger people out there, volunteer. It's so amazing. It looks great on a resume, but it's so amazing how it will make you feel. And it will open doors for you. You never know what volunteer opportunities will do for you. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. And, always tell your family and your friends that you love them, because we never know. And I love you too.
We love you too.
We love you.
I was like, this is like the most emotional one we're ever have to do. So, Cindy, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you
welcome.
for every minute of what you have given to the city, for what you've given to the chamber. I know we are going to have a party for you as well. So
I hope people show up.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they will on September 10th at Shields in Troy.
And we're positive people will show up.
Okay.
We're already getting people. So, and it's not even posted yet, but it will be. But thank you. Like, there's nothing greater than having the ability to work with someone like you. And we're so appreciative of every single thing that you've done. I would say we'll miss you, but I'm not going to, because you will see us. You're still a part of our family, no matter what, forever. We love you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And before I start crying, I'm going to say that's all we have here today on Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. Special thanks to Cindy Stewart for her amazing dedication. We're just super grateful. And to our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. To learn more about the Troy Chamber of Commerce or for upcoming events, go to troychamber.com. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.
Bye-bye.